Okay, now it's time for the silly summary. This is where in 2 minutes or less we summarize the whole lesson and tell you what you really need to know. Okay, so on here we remember we have 3 kinds of models: ball and stick model, structural formula, and space filling model. Kind of cool. This is the one that looks like, well, you could say he looks like a teddy bear, you could say it looks like Mickey Mouse, but I prefer to have him be, hello, it's Kermit the Frog, and I am like a space filling model of water, yay! And it's important to remember that these guys are in motion all the time. And also that these little hydrogens can go whoop, whoop, like this, motion on and off, on and off. And sometimes they can take off altogether, and they can go floating around and trying to get onto new molecules. Okay, and it's also very important to know that there's an outer shell that wants 8, and their motto is, 8 is great. So they will do anything to get 8. And this works out very nicely because 2 hydrogens come over and they donate their lonely electrons, and we have a nice family of 8, and they ride around in their little 8-seater minivan. Although they don't really ride around like that, they kind of look more like that. But it's easier to understand this. So then it's very important to remember that the electrons prefer being down here. They really like to hang out with those positive protons. They love positive, so they hang out down here, creating a negative charge. And the lonely little protons up here, they don't get the electrons very much. And this side ends up being positive. And we call this a polar molecule. Not like this guy, though he's very cute. We're not talking about temperature. We're talking about positive and negative. One side's positive, one side's negative. That's really important. Don't forget polar, polar, polar. Water is polar, water is polar, water is polar. Water is polar, yay! Okay, down here it's important to know that the molecule can break apart. And it does so all the time. The water that you are drinking, if you're drinking water right now, yes, your water has lots of these things, but it also has these things and these things. And this guy can go running off, and he can try to join like this, which doesn't work out very well. And you remember we have special names for these, which you'll have to memorize. And over here, we see that usually they're balanced. There's an H for every OH. And remember to do the activity that goes with this so that you can see something called hydrogen bonding. Yay, so that's all for now. Yay!